All right, we'll get started here. Hi everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Ian Kimbrell here with the Rapid Acceleration Partners team, RAP. Together, we'll walk you through how aftermarket teams and manufacturing companies are using AI to unlock new revenue and improve operational efficiency. So this isn't about generic AI, it's about real field-tested solutions that are already driving sales in our customers, speeding up quoting and improving margins in the aftermarket market. So let's get started. All right. So briefly, before we dive in, just a few quick housekeeping notes to make this a smooth session. You don't need to take frantic notes. We'll be sharing the slides over email after the session. A recording will also be sent out to you within 24 hours, so feel free to revisit or share it internally with others. If you have questions along the way, just drop them in the chat. You don't need to wait until the end. We'll get to as many of the questions as we can in the Q&A session. We would love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to email us back with feedback, what you like, what you don't like, questions, guidance, or anything else you may need. And finally, if possible, I challenge you to stay focused for the next 45 minutes. We will keep a very good pace, and we will do the best to make the most out of your time. So if you can silence those phones and turn off your email for a little while, we would appreciate it. All right. Quick intros before we jump in. Again, I'm Ian Kimbrell, part of the North American sales team at Rapid Acceleration Partners, where I work closely with manufacturing leaders to bring AI into real-world operations, especially in the aftermarket parts space. And joining me today is Raghu, who leads a lot of our AI solution design and deployment across manufacturing. And he's been instrumental in turning complex challenges into simple, scalable automation. Raghu is going to do a quick introduction of our team and what we've done, and then he'll be handing it back to me, and I will walk you through some of the technology we're currently using with our customers. So with that, Raghu.
Thanks, Ian. Hi, everyone. I'm Raghu, the CEO and founder at Rapid Acceleration Partners. What's kind of exciting for me is I work with our customers to make sure the AI solutions we build are practical, measurable, and quick to implement. Right? We're both really excited about this session because it's all about how aftermarket teams can actually move the needle using AI. We just don't want to focus on the theory, but talk about actual wins. Show you something that's a little more realistic kind of a demo in terms of what can be done, right? So I will let Ian kind of go over what we will be covering today in the session, and then after that I'll jump back to do a quick intro about RAP.
Yeah, so thanks, Raghu. And yeah, a quick preview of what we'll be showing today. So our goal is to show you an AI-driven parts identification, which is essentially AI's ability to be the first contact for parts requests coming in for an aftermarket department, and doing a lot of work prior to handing it over to one of your team members. We'll be showing you a unified request for quote inbox, essentially simplifying the process into an efficient queue. We'll show you one-click quote generation for quick turnaround for your customers and your new prospects, and we'll also show you a competitive parts comparison. So as a natural part of the process, the members of an aftermarkets team can actually see what their competition is doing. So that's a preview of the technical side of our presentation today, and I'll send it back to you, Raghu.
Sure. Thanks, Ian. So, I'll jump on a quick intro of what we've done before we jump into the actual topic. Right. So, really, who are we? Right. Rapid Acceleration Partners, or RAP, is an enterprise AI platform company. Right, where almost exclusively focused on manufacturing and distribution. We do have presence in some other industries, but we have a significant focus on manufacturing and distribution because that's kind of the core that a lot of the founding team comes with. Our mission is very simple: to put secure, powerful AI in the hands of operations teams without really disrupting your existing systems or creating completely new overheads with large scale implementations. Right. What makes us different is we deploy entirely within your environment, so no data leaves your infrastructure. Our platform is purpose built for very complex manufacturing workflows. Right, we understand that you will have multiple different existing systems in play. It could be a PLM, your ERP, your parts vault, tribal knowledge, internal legacy systems, and wherever your tribal knowledge is fragmented today. And everything that we deliver runs on our proprietary tech stack. So no real dependency on external software. So pretty much giving you full control on IP ownership. While, like I said earlier, our platform is used across industries, a significant portion of our work and our strongest track record has been in manufacturing. Right. So over the last few years, we worked very closely with aftermarket engineering, procurement teams, operations teams, dealer support teams, helping them automate some of the most painful processes that they've come across. It could be matching parts across multiple fragmented ERP and PLM systems, speeding up the RFQ turnaround times, which is what we'll be talking about today in detail, benchmarking competitor catalogs, automating claims validations for warranty dealerships, right, and pretty much turning any kind of tribal knowledge that you have into smart assistants, right. What we bring to the table isn't just AI, but it's real AI applied to real operational bottlenecks that manufacturers like yourselves deal with every day. And that's kind of where we consistently deliver measurable outcomes, right? Whether it's faster quoting, cleaning catalogs, stronger dealer support, or ultimately more revenue with less effort. Next slide. So RAP's platform is trusted by some of the world's most respected companies, from large industrial OEMs to mid-sized aftermarket suppliers and dealer networks. So you'll see a lot of names here from automotive, HPC, heavy equipment, energy, electronics, because our solutions go beyond generic AI. They are grounded in real operational complexity, but designed to deliver impact very quickly for you. One thing that is common across all these customers, across all these problem statements that we looked at, is fragmented systems, extremely high process variability, and obviously a lot of manual work that slows down either the process itself or the impact on revenue. So we've actually helped these teams turn AI into action without the need for giant transformation projects, right? So we will just sit atop your existing systems and drive value on top of those, right? With that, I'll want to quickly go over a couple of examples. So maybe bringing this to life with an example. So this one, for example, is a Fortune 500 industrial OEM. They had no visibility into what parts their competitors were offering in the market that matched their own. That meant a lot of lost aftermarket sales, very slow RFQ response times to be able to look at internal cross-referencing, and then poor cross-sell visibility, right? So what really was the problem here? One, manual research, which was humanly not possible, just given the SKUs that they were dealing with, very inconsistent naming standards, whether it's for their own parts or whether for competitor parts, and no scalable way to be able to compare this, right? So we pulled in data from their internal ERP system, online catalogs, internal PDF documents, external installation manuals, and then deployed an application that used AI agents to match attributes across over like 50,000 SKUs, right? So the result, a significant accuracy in matching at scale, right? And most importantly, a huge new market access that was unlocked for them to go after their competitor install base to be able to sell their parts, right? That's the kind of competitive edge that you can deliver when you apply AI to real operation bottlenecks. The next example that we look at is from a Fortune 100 automotive manufacturer, right? They were processing 100,000 plus dealer claims per month manually, leading to delays, errors, very poor dealer satisfaction. Volume spikes during seasons, end of the months, beginning of the months made things worse. Either staffing costs shoot up or they wouldn't be able to get trained staffs to be able to cover that. So claims get stuck across systems. So we built a solution that uses the AI agents to extract data from emails or PDFs from where these claims are coming in, validate it with the internal systems and the business logic, and automatically route claims that are approved or rejected through their dealer management system. So outcome was about $360,000 in annual savings, over 100K claims processed every month smoothly with very minimal touch from humans and a faster, more consistent dealer experience. Again, this wasn't just about the automation, right? It was about fixing a broken process and the ability for AI to be able to unlock real value. So this is just two examples of what AI could look like in the real world. Solutions built around real processes, delivering measurable business outcomes, right? Now, I don't want to stand between you and the actual demo. Instead of just talking about the theory, we want to show you how it works. Ian will be walking you through a live demo, show how fast and easy it can be to deliver results, right, in the coating process and aftermarket. Ian, over to you.
Great. Thank you, Raghu. We'll now move on to our RAP AI demonstration. In today's webinar, we will be showing you how a parts team can quote faster using AI. A quick introduction of myself. Again, I'm Ian Kimbrell. I'm part of the North American sales team for RAP. And today, I will act as a member of the parts sales team at Acme Part Sales. So in this scenario, we are an aftermarket parts manufacturer for a host of industries, including HVAC and industrial equipment. Our team receives parts requests through our website, emails, phone calls, and those requests come directly from some of our larger customers, from distributors, and even from our field services team. And the goal for each request is to help our contacts identify the right part, even sometimes with limited information, to quote quickly and to process the order efficiently and completely. So before I begin, I'm going to briefly jump into an administrative tab below called integrations. And while this is an area of the technology that would primarily be used by our administrative staff or by the RAP help desk, I'm going to use it for just a moment to show you a little of behind the scenes. So this tab lets me know which systems I'm connected to and gives me confirmation that the connections are live and all systems are up. So day to day, the benefits of this tab is to help us understand which systems are feeding data to the AI system and to quickly enable the support team to troubleshoot any issues. But ultimately, what we want you to know is we're showing how our AI bots are acting as intelligent connectors with multiple internal databases within our organization, databases that we've been building and maintaining for years. And these bots allow our AI engineer to have live access to those systems. They maintain a stream of data moving into the RAP AI environment. In this example, we're pulling data as needed from ERP, product data management, CRM, and also a database of data about our competitors. And because I have real-time access to our internal systems, we can pull history, pricing, bill of materials, and a host of other important pieces of information. And this makes access to our company's proprietary data fast, accurate, and complete. And most of these systems that we're connected to at my parts manufacturing company, as I said, have years and years of useful data. But this is also, but there's also a database for competitor information. I'll comment on this more later, but the concept is that I have used our AI bots to collect publicly available data from our competitors' websites or e-commerce sites so that our team members can get real-time advice on how to compete for business. As you will see by having that particular source of data, our team members will access intelligence on how to better compete for business and increase sales. Okay, so that's the back end introduction. But as an employee of Acme Parts Company, I need to get going and process some requests. As you see here, I start with a web-based interface. My various AI capabilities are available here on the left. I will generally work from top to bottom to accomplish my tasks for at least for this demonstration. The common interface gives me an efficient workflow, which allows all requests to be handled in a very similar way, independent of whether it's me or one of my fellow team members in the aftermarket sales department. It's always going to be handled the same way. So we have an easy and efficient interface to work with the requests. It also makes it, having this type of interface makes it easy to train fellow team members who can participate as we grow the department and the company and add new team members who we want to ramp up very quickly. And my company's best practices are baked into the interface as well as being baked into the AI technology. And the AI system has created an intelligent request queue that we have here on the right side. The queue brings together all of the information needed to address customer needs, including emails, voicemail recordings, and documents provided by the customer. In addition, the AI system has used its connections to our data and brought all that data together to do a lot of the work necessary to quote and process the order. The benefit of the queue is that my support staff, me and my fellow support staff, only have one place to go to have the information we need. Part or much of the decision making already has been done by AI, which you'll see in a moment, which makes the support process very fast and also significantly decreases the amount of hours we have to spend getting through all the requests. So I'll pause here for just a moment to highlight the fact that at this point in my demonstration today, our AI has already done a ton of work in the background, which you'll see. And I know I'm only a few moments in the presentation, but AI has already done much, if not all of the request review, part research, and all the other things that go along with coming up with a good solution for the customer based on their request. And what you'll see from this point on is just how much work the RAP AI software has done. The expectation is that AI has taken us to the 10-yard line, and now as the technical specialist, I can take it the rest of the way to completion. So as the technical specialist in the aftermarkets department, I can now choose a request to access the ticket information, and I'm going to choose the coolant valve request from the top of the list. And when I do that, on the left is a ticket summary. So in this ticket summary section, it includes the internal information I need to understand who the customer is and the nature of the request. It includes customer contact information, whether they're already in the CRM system, priority level, and current status. So this is an interface that is quick and easy to interact with. I'm not having to go to multiple systems to understand the nature of the request, and that's a big part of where we get our increased time to market. So I'm choosing now the submitted tab, and I can see what information the customer chose to share with us, what they submitted to us. I immediately see the text message from the customer, probably taken from an email, and a photo that they have submitted. I would also see, if submitted, voicemails, documents, and anything else that they shared with us as part of the request. The benefit here is that I have a complete set of data at my fingertips to save time and focus for me as the technical lead. So next, I'm going to go and look at the audit log tab for this request. This allows me to understand what's been done previously with the request, if AI or team members have already contributed to the process. And the benefit here is I save time by making sure I'm not doing any redundant work on this request. I can just build on what's already been done, getting to a solution or shipment faster. And within the audit log, we have all the different team members tagged for each step. Here, each human team member and the AI itself are treated as unique participants. So I can see which steps were done by my friend Sarah and which items were done by the AI. By knowing not only what was done, but who did it, I get a more complete picture of the process, which is going to increase the quality of how I pick the right part and properly propose it to the customer or the prospect. If I go back to the summary on the left side of the screen and scroll down, I can access the AI Insights information. In this instance, it has already found a part that should work and the proposed next steps. This is where you start to see the substantial time savings. So while our team was working on other tickets or even in off hours, the AI system has been cranking away, reviewing the requests, doing the research, analysis, problem solving, and pricing needed to close this request and satisfy the customer. You'll also notice that each element of the RAP AI suggested resolutions include a confidence score. And this is pretty common in all of our solutions. In this case, a 92% confidence score for the primary recommendation and an 84% score for the secondary recommendation. In our solution, we give feedback to the users to allow them to evaluate the AI work and quality of results. What is happening is that we're using a secondary AI agent to evaluate the primary AI agent. And the benefit here is that the process of coming up with the resolution or solution it's conversational. I have a sense of what's going on and how accurate the AI thinks it is being in its recommendations. And that helps the quality of the resolution. It builds confidence in me as a technical specialist that AI is going to consult me and give me feedback. If there's only a 24% confidence rating, that's something I need to know, and maybe we need to dig deeper into the recommendation. It also allows for the RAP AI system to work on continuous improvement of its results. So we want our AI system to continually improve and get better. The next actions area allows me to accept, if I so choose, a recommended action. Here I can either accept a suggested next step from AI, or I can override the suggestion and go a different route. The benefit to this approach is I get the best of both worlds. I get the speed of AI, and I get the quality benefit of the expertise and intuition of the team member, which in this case is me. So in this example, we will assume I'm comfortable with the available data and the recommendation and the conclusions. So it's time to get some pricing to the customer so we can get them their parts as soon as possible. When I choose the start quote option, it takes me into the quote builder. RAP AI has already built out a quote that matches the requirements of the solution, including part numbers, part descriptions, quantity, and unit price. All of this is being pulled from my ERP system, so I know it's showing the latest price book information. So if somebody changed the pricing or updated it a few hours ago, I have high confidence I'm looking at and I'm reflecting that information. And the benefit to this functionality is that it's a fast way to get the quote, ensures the latest information, and also gives me full control to, if I need to edit the quote, change the quantities, I can do that. In addition, if you glance below, I have an upsell advisor below. For this functionality, the RAP AI has used both its knowledge of the use case scenarios, design data, ERP history, access to technical specification, and even its own AI history over time to determine that it is common for these parts not mandatory, but common for these parts to travel with this order. And the benefit here is that if those parts are needed by the customer, that I'm proposing it, to avoid, the mistake of not shipping a complete solution to the customer. And of course, we want to avoid frustration. We want to avoid loss of time to solution, and even avoid shipping costs by having to make multiple shipments. And all of this is being done much faster than if I had to do this myself, working through multiple data sources, potentially missing a key piece of information. Once I've used my tools to make any additions or subtractions to the quote, I can send the quote to the customer directly from this interface. Direct integration with email, CRM, and ERP automates communicating the quote to the customer. So this is an example, putting the quote together and getting it out. And it may be a small task for some companies, but these small tasks add up and take away from delivery time and response time, and can make a big difference. After I send the quote, I can review my quote tracker. The quote tracker lets me confirm the quote is sent, so that's important. And the tracker is a centralized location to see the status of all the proposals that have already gone out. And as orders are accepted by the customer, the information is pushed back by a quoting system in ERB to enable shipping. And you can see here, some of the orders have made it all the way through. Some of the quotes have made it all the way through a final order, and some are still pending with the customers. And the benefit here is I can review past quotes, look at the overall picture, sort the results, or even filter them by status or date, giving me a fast way to manage multiple quotes. And as one of the technical specialists getting the quotes out, I can look at just the quotes I'm responsible for, or maybe my department manager wants to check in and get a more global view of what's going on in the department, and how many recent quotes have gone out. So this finishes up this order, and I move on knowing that I have the right part, and that I've reviewed all internal data that would influence my recommendation, and my activities are in sync with ERP and other key systems as that we rely on in our company, and AI is helping to keep all the data matching between those systems. So let me walk you through another example using the same process. I'll move through the process a little faster this time. So going back to the request queue, I choose the next item in the queue, which is a request for a stainless steel valve. In this instance, the customer has left a voicemail in our telephonic system for help desk, and part ordering. The system converts the voicemail to a written transcript and makes the voicemail available as also as an audio option. And we can go ahead and click that, and we can hear the full message.
Hi, Karen Moore from Coastal Valve. We want to repeat our order from last quarter, the 2-inch stainless valves. I think it was 10 units. Can you pull up that order and send me a quote? Thanks. Hi, Karen Moore from...
Okay. So, this is another example of where AI is pulling all available data as submitted by the customer into the queue. And the benefit here is I can use all the same tools and processes, even when all I have is a voicemail. So this time I'm going to use an additional functionality, and I'm going to choose the find parts option to dig down a little further. So maybe I'm a little more cautious on AI's conclusions on this part, and I want to be, for this instance, I want to be a little more interactive, determining the right part. So this tool allows me to narrow down the exact part using a slightly more manual process. From here, I can include keywords or documents that have been sent, or if I've called them and I'm on the phone and gathering more information, I can push that back into the system. And I can jump to the quote builder. So once I've done that, I once again can jump to the quote builder, adjust any quantities, and send the quote. And so this gives you a better sense of how the day in the life of using this particular tool, and of course the benefits are speed and accuracy. And so I'm going to show you a few different ways that a few additional ways that you can interact with the AI. So let me run through a scenario where I do not have any digital data because I just picked up the phone and I just started talking with the customer. So you know, for my business at Acme Parts, you know, we do have some customers or distributors who want that personal touch and want to have a conversation as part of the process. And I don't necessarily just want to push them back to our web portal or have them send us an email. So in this situation, I can go to the new request option, which is tailored specifically for when we're taking incoming calls. And this is going to allow me to benefit from the same capabilities you saw before, accessing the same functionality and general workflow, but I'm going to do it on the fly instead of having RAP having sort of pre-process the information for me. So here I can use the keyword search capability to start to narrow down which part the customer needs. In this case, I know they are looking for a valve. This search is working off of the AI populated database to leverage the data from all of my systems. So I'm getting descriptions, pricing, and images to help me quickly push the conversation forward and narrow down to what it is the customer needs. And I'm using the data fields to start collecting data digitally as I speak to the customer. You know, name, information, all the things I will need to communicate with the customer and to build the quote. And this allows me to collect the needed data as I continue the conversation on the phone with the client. And this is, which I'll talk about more here in a moment, but this is also useful for field technicians who can work off of their phone or their tablet through the same web-based interface to complete part searches and submit orders while they're actually physically with the customers on site. And all of these search results are order ready. So I can work out of the results to add parts to the quote as the customer confirms, yes, that's what I need. Yes, that's what I want. So this is an example of where I'm working out of the same company-wide data set and the same AI engine to get to the eventual quote, but just taking a different path using based on how I'm receiving the information. And the benefit here is that the customer is getting what they want quickly, the way they want it, while also benefiting from the order accuracy and completeness of our system. And speaking of field service, we have also, you know, here at Acme Parts, we've also empowered our field service team to deliver solutions, even when they're dealing with competitive parts. So let's assume I'm out in the field, or you know, one of my team members is out in the field with customer troubleshooting a problem that will require some type of part or assembly replacement. But their current parts is one from one of our competitors. I'm going to my parts compare tool here on the left. From here, I can select the competitor's brand. And if I do not have a part number, I can use a description to start to narrow down the part details. Using the images of the competitive part and publicly available data that's been retrieved from the internet over time, I can compare that part to my company's catalog and find a part that will be an exact match for functionality. A comparison of the competitor's part is on the left, and my part is on the right, so I can do a nice side-by-side comparison to confirm that the recommendation is making sense. And the benefit here is I can increase sales by displacing competition. I can also do it quickly without having to burn through time making phone calls or searching the internet. Our field service team is busy, and we want to get them in and out of their calls as quickly as possible. So empowering them out in the field is very powerful. And once I isolate the part from our catalog, I'm dropped right back into our company standard workflow to build the quote, review AI recommendations for complementary products, and initiate the order process like we did previously. We're coming towards the end of the demonstration, and there's one last capability I'd like to show you today, and one more way to interact with AI and the associated data sets. And so I'm going to bring up a general AI chat window. So in this scenario, I'm working with a customer with a unique challenge, and it's not immediately clear what part or parts they need. And you're always going to have those 1% of requests for which there's not an immediate clear choice for the part they need. So I need to use my expertise. I need to use what information I do have and my experience and intuition to propose the correct solution. So I'm going to move to a chat window where it's a little bit more interactive and freeform. So here's the AI chat window. And let me say, this is the same type of chat window some of you may already be comfortable using with ChatGPT or the other general purpose AI. So even though our company, our AI is private and domain specific AI, not general public AI, but ours is dedicated to the proprietary knowledge of my company. But I can still have the same chat experience. It's exactly the same. And the benefit here is that I can have my in-house experts go outside the standard workflows and use their experience to satisfy unique situations. So some examples in this case, I can do a simple interaction. I can ask for more details on part P2004 in this instance, and it gives me back a host of information about the part, including specifications, whether it's in stock, if it has a common competitive part in the market that we're seeing on a regular basis, and a comment on a recent order if I want to go look at that. And the benefit here is I can have yet another way to access the company's entire data set quickly and conversationally, using with the ease of a large language model that is in our software. So another example I'll give is to ask a more complicated question like, which parts receive the most requests for competitive part comparisons across our entire catalog? And in this example, not only is it leveraging our legacy systems, our design database, our ERP system, our CRM, but it's also using our own growing AI history to learn something about our parts catalog. So here I'm benefiting from not only our own internal data that we've collected over time, but also the growing knowledge base that is the AI system itself. So that concludes the demonstration part of of our presentation today. What I've shown is multiple different ways to interact with AI, and to get to a quick turnaround of a part recommendation, a solution recommendation, and the quote that the customer or the prospect needs to act on that recommendation. So with that, we will open up for Q&A. And Sai, I think you're leading. You're looking at the questions. So Raghu and I will answer as best we can. And Sai, you're muted if you're talking.
I have this question. This question is, how does the quoting work if our pricing varies by customer or distributor tier? That's a good question. So essentially, our pricing lookup is done. The AI is not predicting the pricing; it's doing a lookup. So we will be able to build constraints to how and where we need to look up the data from, right? Whether it's distributor tier, so we can either build that hierarchy for customers or tiers from a pricing standpoint, or if it's already available within your existing systems, the AI can refer to that same structure and then pull data off that, so that that hierarchy or structure is, because we will still be able to identify the customer, the details from where the quote is coming from, and things like that. We will be able to cross-reference that to your internal database and make sure that that integrity is not lost. So the next question is, we have thousands of SKUs with different attributes. Will the system handle that complexity, or do we need to simplify our data first? So the short answer to that, no, we do not need to simplify the data. We can retain your data as is. Right? There may be some normalization that we may need to do on the data, but again, we can have the AI do the normalization in itself, and then it can the AI itself can clean up the data to a large extent, right? And then the AI will be able to handle the data in whatever form. Right? Again, we worked with customers where the data has been available on multiple different systems, multiple different formats, because they probably went through some mergers or acquisitions in the past, data lying in different systems or different formats. We've been able to consolidate all of them, normalize it. So the AI takes care of that whole piece before we feed into the database, so that the matching is precise and accurate. We have one interesting question, which is the competitive comparison data something that you supply, or do we load our own? Okay, that's an interesting question. So we do not already have like competitive databases that are built out for across customers, but we can build the mechanisms. So when we build the solution out for you, put it out for you, then we will be able to build the mechanisms to say where and how will we be able to go fetch that competitive data for your business, right? And then be able to bring the data and then do the cross-referencing of there. So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Again, where and how we look up the information, when will we look up the information, right? There are cases where we've gone and preloaded data from a lot of sources and then already done a cross-matching tree for some customers. For some customers, we do the cross-matching, fetching the competitor information and the parts data and then matching it on demand. So again, depends on the use case and how your industry would see it, right? Where the data is available and so on. So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. So it's built as part of that custom solution that we would configure for you. If the AI makes a wrong suggestion, what safeguards prevent it from going out to a customer? So like you saw in the demo, pretty much in all cases, the AI only makes a recommendation. It does not directly send anything to a customer. It makes a recommendation for a user to be able to quickly eyeball, make a decision, and then push it out to the customer, right? The user can always override, right? Make changes, stop something from going out to the customer. So nothing really directly goes out to the customer. AI is not making a decision to push anything out directly to the customer.
We probably have, if Raghu, if there's any more questions, we probably have time for just one more.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, there's one more. Maybe we'll take this last one. Can this help our field technicians when they're on site to look up the exact part? Yes, I think the solution pretty much remains the same. We have in the past done package the similar solutions on mobile apps where field technicians will be able to go look up a part, right? While they're on the field, it could even be a competitive part. For example, they just type out broad specifications for that part, and then we are able to match it to an internal part within the inventory. So yes, it can be extended on some system, either the system accessible on a tablet or some system for field technicians, or part of it can also be exposed through a mobile app.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our time. Thanks to everybody who joined us, and we'd hope to see everybody again at our next webinar. yeah, I think Raghu's signaling that, yeah, I should outline, what does it look like to work with RAP um, to actually implement a first solution of RAP AI, AI engine. So what we would do is we would book a free consultation and give you an idea of what we could do to solve any particular issue, whether it's aftermarket sales or help desk or solutions for your manufacturing floor. We evaluate your process. That takes about a week, and then we come back with a quote. And it is not unusual for delivery times of 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the scope. So, our message is that this does not have to be, to do your first AI implementation does not have to be overwhelming, and you can get a return on investment incredibly fast. Return on investments of just a few months is not unusual when you invest in our AI solutions. And I think, is that our last slide? Okay. Well, I will wrap up there. Again, thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you on the next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.